Hey, bro, don't forget, it ain't the first 48, bro. It's 60 minutes, bro.
We heard a whole lot of lip service, but hey, anybody can do that. But between them lines,
come with the kid, you best not miss. Even the score now, we need to score now. Back on that wall, when you hear that call, you know it's going down. We play from beginning to ending, you know how we finish. Turn to the bank, gotta handle our business. We need the ball, so it's time to go get it. Play with your heart when you hit, make like, who you with? You know I'm with. You come to the bank and get out of line, we sending a blitz. Say who you with? You know I'm with. That purple and black, and when we attack, you know what it is.
You're now locked in Zone 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Zone 32 podcast, episode 112. Like that fucking R&B group from the 2000s and the 90s. My name is Jake. His name is Drew. His name is Will. His name is Trippy. It's the off season, so say what's up to the people.
Fuck you.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck you too.
What's up,
Pete? Fuck you. Fuck baseball. Trippy is a man of the people. I respect that.
I mean, fuck baseball. Sacramento's about to have their own team.
No.
Oh, yeah, they're going there. For like, what, a couple of years? Then they go to Vegas.
They'll probably stay there forever.
And the only reason I'm saying fuck baseball, I want to say I got a big fuck you to somebody. Fuck you, Brandon Hyde, man. Like, I just don't understand what the fuck you be doing every time. I know this is a football podcast, but a lot of these games be because of Brandon Hyde. Like, I don't know what's up with him in the bullpen. Like, is this something with these? Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't.
Hey, I got to give a shout out while we're talking. While we're on the topic of baseball, this is kind of baseball adjacent because Nats fans love to shit on the city of Baltimore. Meanwhile, the city of
they live in fucking Washington D.C. What the
fuck? Washington D.C. had more murders in 2023.
Didn't somebody get shot? Like somebody brought a gun outside of Nationals Park a couple of years ago and fucking smoking people out like Gate B.
Yeah, well, not just that. They had more murders than Baltimore last year. They have more murders than Baltimore this year. They had a 38% increase in murders last year, and Baltimore had, I think, like a 27% decrease in murders last year. And on top of that, the Capital One Arena was ranked as the most dangerous NBA arena in the league.
Well, because they don't play basketball there, so they got to do something. You know?
That's exactly.
And plus, you got Russian mob ties as your franchise player for the hockey team.
Right. Exactly. So,
that's right. Ovi.
Fucking Joe Biden. Welcome to Joe Biden's America, people.
Yeah, Washington D.C. trash city.
No wonder fans don't go to their games. No, and what about the?
Is it worth dying over to go see? I don't even know. Like fucking what's his name? Jordan Poole.
No, or
Kyle
Kuzma.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma. Like you want to fucking risk getting shot in the back of the head to go see that idiot play basketball? No thanks.
What about?
I don't know anybody else on the team. We'd have to get Mo on to list off the whole roster.
That fucking Marcin Gortat, that bald white fuck, still on that team.
That guy hasn't been on the team for like 10 years.
I think one of the Wagner brothers is on that team.
Fan?
What?
You a Wizards fan, Will?
No. I mean,
We'll boycotted the Wizards.
You're a Caps fan, though, ain't you?
Fuck hockey.
You don't watch hockey. He feels about hockey the way I feel about baseball.
I forgot hockey is on that list. I like hockey.
Oh, hockey's the first thing on the list. NBA basketball's on that list too, I believe.
Hey man, but you still watch it.
Well, you a Tiger?
I don't watch it. I don't watch it
casually.
Hey,
you watch old LeBron James.
That's true.
Tiger Woods, motherfucker.
Which
he like watching
is even more heavily on the list.
I will watch golf casually. Casually, I will watch.
Why? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, just as background, like if it's on, like it'll be on at the bar or like I don't like seek it out, but
hell no, you'll sit.
If it's on at the bar, I don't even pay attention at the bar. I'm just fucking paying attention to my food and my drink.
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite bar sports watching moments was when Tiger won the Masters in 2019. The one
that live at Fenway. They played it on the
So because it was just like a bunch of dads up there, and it was kind of like a dad moment because like he won it, and like his kid like greeted him when he was walking off the green, and he's like a grown ass man, kind of like a redemption moment for him. It was pretty cool. So like, but like I'm not really into golf, but like watching Sunday of a tournament where the vibes are good, that's kind of fun.
I don't like watching I don't hang on every moment of a golf tournament.
I'd rather play golf, to be honest.
Yeah, same with me. I'm not like a golf fan, but I do follow it like casually, you know?
We've lost the plot. We're a football podcast.
Hey, man.
Well, it's the off season.
This is the off season. Why do you think Why do you think I'm letting it just go off?
Where's Cold Crush? Where's Cold Crush at? He passed his bedtime.
Stop yelling. Relax.
No.
We have an important talk. We have an important.
I don't feel like stopping yelling, Drew.
And you're fucking screaming into the microphone instead of talking about how Lamar Jackson lost weight.
I got fucking electrocuted to work today, so of course I'm a little extra animated.
Drew, you just got murdered by Glenn Clark on the timeline.
Why? What did he say?
He just said you probably took that screenshot of him not blocking you with a burner.
Except for I typed out the reply.
I'm just saying. He said you probably got.
I mean, I remembered why he blocked me because he decided to talk about the Hollywood story on the radio, and I DM'd him and asked if he was retarded. So it came to me afterwards. So I mean,
all he said was probably a burner.
Yeah, totally a burner account. Glenn Clark, dork. Jesus Christ.
He's gonna block you again.
That was your old account.
Yeah, that was my old account when I was, breaking news about people retiring and shit.
That's right.
Oh, that's what it is.
Video games.
Right.
See, you should be blocked.
And Will was trying to blow your cover. See,
yeah,
because he was over there mad.
Yeah. I don't want to sign Jamal Adams and Michael Thomas. I'm Will. I'd rather sign washed white wide receivers from Notre Dame.
Fucking Ben Skoranek. Hey, but here's the thing, man. And this is the reality of the situation when we talked about a little bit earlier. If you're paying someone the veteran minimum, are you really losing anything if they're bad?
Jake, I want to make something very clear. These two are presenting a completely wrong. The narrative that they're spinning here is wrong. I didn't say that we should sign.
Did you or did you not want to sign Ben Skoranek?
No. I'm speaking right now. I didn't say Ben Skoranek over Michael Thomas. I said we should sign Ben Skoranek over Tylan Wallace. We should cut Tylan Wallace.
The problem is you said that we should sign Ben Skoranek. That was the issue.
I'd rather the last wide receiver. He left. I'd rather our last wide receiver on the depth chart be a 6'3", 230-pound guy who plays special teams, plays fullback.
You get rid of Tylan Wallace, though? Like, you always try and get people that was already homegrown and bring a motherfucker that's gonna play special teams. All he gonna do is tackle. That's all he gonna do. What the fuck he gonna be, a gunner?
Will was very anti-signing a white wide receiver, and then Ben Skoranek was.
Drew has been looking for a reason to get rid of Tylan Wallace for 2 years.
Right.
No.
You tripping.
Yes.
No.
And you know what?
2 years, that's a stretch.
Me and Drew gonna troll the shit out you all.
Oh, I can't wait till we sign Mike Thomas.
I swear to God, I hope we get him.
We're not going anywhere near
EDC,
him.
go ahead and sign Michael Thomas, man.
We're not going anywhere near him.
I want him to sign Michael Thomas, and I want him to tell you suck a dick during his press conference.
We're not going anywhere near him.
And we gonna get him on the show.
We're not going anywhere near that guy.
Why?
Because we got Kadir. Kadir, what's his name?
Don't even know the guy's name.
God damn it, I'm blanking here.
You can do it. You got this.
Ishmael, yeah.
Oh, so the nepotism. Hold on, nepotism whistleblower wants to sign a nepotism guy.
I did an investigation and cleared Kadir of any nepotism ahead of time. I did that before we even signed him.
I don't want to sign a white wide receiver. Drew's a homer for wanting to sign Michigan guys. Advocates for signing a white Notre Dame wide receiver. And then you follow that up with you are the preeminent nepotism whistleblower on the internet.
I did blow the whistle on it, and then I did an investigation. I found that there was no nepotism involved.
Quadri tweet you and say shut the fuck up or something. Is that what happened? Did I miss that?
No,
exchange?
no. No, that's not what he did. That's not what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He did. That's not what he did.
What did he say then?
He presented facts, and he got an invite to camp. He had to go to camp, try out, and then he got signed. He didn't just get signed.
I mean, that's
he didn't get
good, though,
he didn't get a UDFA. He didn't get signed as a UDFA. He had to try out.
Right, but
if his name was Kadir Smith, would he have gotten that invite to camp?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's 6'6". You can't teach that.
I'm just asking the questions.
You know why that's good though? Because you got a player like Jarvis Landry. He said out there he trying out for the Jaguars. Did you hear him get signed to the team? No.
I mean, he's also like 48 years old. So
Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
That's a guy 2 episodes ago you said we should sign.
Yeah, over Ben Skoranek.
No, not over Ben Skoranek. That was before the Ben Skoranek shit even happened. You said that shit.
Yeah, I said Jarvis Landry over Zay Jones. Mister. Fucking let's sign Zay Jones over here.
We should have signed Zay Jones.
We didn't though. You're sounding like these you're sounding like these EC sour grapes people.
We should, and by the way, if you want to talk about productive 2019 receivers, we should sign Julio Jones over fucking Michael Thomas. He's been playing.
Why not both?
Because we got Rashad Bateman.
I mean, if your argument was that you wanted to sign Mr. 3 catches in 2023, Ben Skoranek over Tylan Wallace, like, why not sign Michael Thomas?
That's the only reason why he was saying it. That shit, y'all.
No, that's not what I said. I said he plays special teams, but he has also had a season where he's had a season where he's more productive than Bateman.
No, actually, he played more snaps, got more targets, and had the same production as Bateman.
You was talking about Wallace. Now, one time you mentioned Bateman, you just was focused on Wallace.
Right. What I'm saying is this guy has had a season where the reason he was more productive is because he had to step up and fill in because Cooper Kupp got hurt. So he had to step up. He had to fill a role because someone got hurt. What has happened with our wide receivers historically? We've had guys get hurt, and we have no depth. Like, we've had to rely on bullshit. Like, we've had to fucking sign Des Bryant off the street. We've had to sign fucking what's that asshole that guy who hates Jews.
Sammy Watkins?
No, not him. He's a lizard.
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. But Sammy Watkins is another pretty good example too. He got
a podcast out.
Yeah, it's probably him just reading Mein Kampf. But
no, I'm talking about Deshaun Jackson.
That's who I'm talking about too.
No, he put up a thing because he was sharing some fucking Farrakhan shit, right?
Big fan of the H-Man.
Yeah.
See,
but what I'm saying is Ben Skoranek, at least in the past, when called upon, he was playing a reserve role.
Deshaun Jackson probably likes Ben Skoranek.
I don't know about that. But
I would say that he probably thinks he's part of
when called upon, he had a good season. So what I'm saying is, when he's not getting targets, when he's not needed, he plays special teams. He does what he's asked. He plays fucking fullback. He does whatever they tell him.
When called upon, did Michael Thomas not have a good season?
No. When called upon, he was hurt.
Did he not win Offensive Player of the Year?
In 2019, in a different fucking decade.
Yeah,
but he won Offensive Player of the Year, right?
In a different decade.
That being said,
Skoranek's career stats don't even add up to that one season.
You know who else had a great fucking year in 2019? Devontae Parker. He just fucking retired.
Great move by Howie Roseman to bring him in, by the way.
That's right.
We can't keep talking about his fucking Offensive Player of the Year in 2019. We can't do it.
So then we can't talk about Lamar Jackson's unanimous MVP in 2019.
Well, there's that's irrelevant because he's repeated that performance last year.
Okay, and if we sign Michael Thomas, maybe he'll repeat that performance this year.
No, not maybe. We're talking about a guy who hasn't done dick since 2019. You can't say, well, in 2019 he did this, and then he hasn't done.
We're talking about Ben Skoranek, who hasn't done dick ever. So I don't know.
He has. He's done more than almost everybody on the whole fucking.
He had like 300 yards receiving this year that you're hyping up.
No, that's not true. I'll pull it up.
375 yards. Pull it up.
Okay, I will.
I bet you it was under 400 yards receiving.
Bet it wasn't.
I bet you it was.
Well, you're wrong.
Bet you it was like 80 targets for 300 yards.
I thought he had like 70 yards.
He had like 12 yards last year.
No, it was 376.
Man,
so it's under 400. So it's under 400 yards. That's weird.
Hey, Drew, he basically wanted us to sign him.
He wanted us to sign White Rashad Bateman.
Spot. That's the only thing he kept saying. He ain't say shit about Bateman.
Trippy, you're not listening properly. I'm saying, how would you like to have a guy be the last guy on the wide receiver depth chart who has had a season? What?
We need him.
What do you mean we don't need him? Tylan Wallace hasn't done dick in his entire fucking career.
Tylan Wallace has posted that punt return 943 times. He did something.
Can he be a punt returner?
We don't need a punt returner. We've just signed Deontay Hardy.
All right, what if he get hurt though?
What if he gets hurt? Then go sign someone else off the street.
Why? When we got Tylan Wallace from the team already.
Oh, we're just gonna keep him around in case Deontay Hardy gets hurt. That's great.
Will likes his wide receivers like John Elway likes his quarterbacks tall and white.
Bro, I can't believe you saying that, bro. Like a couple weeks ago, you were saying, "Yeah, we don't need no male wide receivers on the team."
Yeah.
I said that when we were talking about fucking Hunter Renfrow, who is like 5'2", has a bald head, and weighs like 132 pounds.
All right, so it's 3 wide receivers to choose from, right? You got Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and Hunter Renfrow. EDC gonna sign one of them three, and you got you.
Julio Jones.
Yeah, I bet.
What did Julio Jones do last year?
Played for the Eagles.
Look up Julio Jones' stats last year.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Michael Thomas outproduced him last year, didn't he? For the
Yes,
time he was healthy.
Michael Thomas got hurt. Michael Thomas got hurt again.
Julio Jones
again,
and he still outproduced Julio last year.
What's Julio Jones' stat line last year?
Julio Jones signed at the end of the year.
No, he signed in like training camp last year.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did not.
Yes,
he did not.
Will,
he was with the Eagles.
His Pro Football Reference page. Do you have it up?
Hold on. I'm gonna look at his spot.
Bro, you got something against Michael Thomas, bro. And
I do. You know what it is? That he's played in 20 games since fucking COVID started to exist.
How many games has Julio Jones played in over the same span?
Way more.
How many games has Sean Bateman played in?
What? Why are we talking about Bateman? He's on the team.
Yeah.
No, just focus on Julio Jones. Just focus on Julio Jones. How many did he play in since 2020?
Hold on.
Because he was hurt a lot with the Falcons. I don't know how many games he played with the Titans.
And he was hurt a lot with the Bucs.
Since 2020, Julio Jones has played in.
It's going to be like 22 games left.
No, he's played in 40.
And how many catches? How many games did he play in last year?
11.
11. And how many yards did he put up?
Doesn't matter.
So it wasn't very good, was it? It was less than Michael Thomas did last year.
He was on the same team as Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown.
Okay, but we're going to be bringing him in to be like wide receiver 3 or 4. So
no, we're not.
Maybe no, we're not. You're just talking about a guy to replace Tylan Wallace. Why would you?
Tylan Wallace isn't wide receiver 3 or 4.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He don't make no sense, bro. He just be talking, bro.
I don't know what Michael Thomas. I feel like Will lost like a fantasy championship in 2019 to Michael Thomas or something.
Michael Thomas fucking sucks, dude.
Michael Thomas spit on Will.
Yes, he does.
Michael Thomas took his lunch money in middle school.
Since 2020, let's hold on. Since 2020, Julio Jones has 117 catches, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Okay, now look at Michael Thomas.
Sure.
Should be like in the 2000s.
What now?
Michael Thomas has played half the number of games, and I bet you he's put up 3/4 of stats of Julio Jones.
95 catches, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Weird. And in half the games. Who's the better player, though?
He's younger.
So, who had more yards last year?
Michael Thomas did, but he got hurt,
he
always does.
Weird.
As he always does.
How many games did Michael Thomas play last year?
Yeah, he trying to say that all day. Yeah,
about the same as Julio, wasn't it? About 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Bro, we need Michael Thomas on the team, bro. He might be out. He could work with the ball.
See, that's where I gotta get you.
We don't need Michael Thomas for anything.
Michael Thomas ain't a deep threat. Michael Thomas, you can work with underneath. That's a slant god. Here's the thing.
I'm still waiting for Will to tell me how many games Michael Thomas played last year.
10.
Honestly, if you
10, so one less than Julio Jones, and put up better stats than him.
Oh, Michael Thomas can go deep on the little post routes.
He can't go deep on shit. He'll fucking fall apart.
That's an underneath receiver right there. Like they had a lot of it to go deep last.
So we just had this.
Every now and again, you see him go deep, but that's not his game.
I want to see what other wide receivers are out there.
It ain't no more. That's why I just named them.
No, what do you know,
bro?
He knows Michael.
Bro.
He knows Michael Thomas is the answer. So
I looked at that shit earlier. Them bum ass wide receivers. That's why I just named them. You got hold on, let me pull a list real quick. I was just
Russell Gage, Jamal Agnew, Mecole Hardman, Randall Cobb, Marquise Goodwin.
Trash.
I would take Laquan Treadwell back over Michael Thomas in a heartbeat. Richie James I would take over him.
I like my man. Cool.
See this is the other thing. Trippy always advocates for the guys that he knows personally.
I don't even know Michael Thomas.
But you know Tylan Wallace, and that's why you're all about Tylan Wallace.
Bro, listen, right? Hear me out. It was fucking, I forgot what year it was. I think it was James Prochet Duvernay drafted it in that first draft class, right? Then it was Tylan Wallace, right?
I think Tylan Wallace is the next year.
All right.
Only one left.
I have an idea. Well, I think we should all get behind this one. You ready?
Sign Michael Thomas, I agree.
No. Martavis Bryant.
No.
Isn't he like incarcerated for something?
No.
He hasn't played since fucking.
This is a bit. This is a Will bit because he had XFL gambling that he got paid to promote, and so he wants to sign an XFL player.
No.
Fucking UFL players and shit.
Yeah, man. UFL players.
Who's next? Josh Gordon.
We should sign AJ McCarron to be our backup quarterback.
Right.
What other UFL players?
We
Johnny
might as well
Manziel's probably
sign Randy
available.
Moss out of retirement. Maybe he might can help our offense.
Whatever happened to Randy
deep,
Moss's kid, Thad Moss? Remember he was in the NFL for a while.
Oh yeah,
I know he had that knee injury in college and bounced around.
He said we should push that shit. You can push that shit by yourself. I'm not pushing
Martavis
that.
Bryant, listen, since 2020, he's only played in 20 less games than Michael Thomas.
That's a pretty significant number less. That means he's played in 0 games since 2020.
He gets
0.
I think Will is finally coming to the realization that his anti-Michael Thomas campaign is cooked. So
no.
I can't wait to see the pivot when we announce that we signed him on June 2nd. But
hold on, I want to see.
He'll lose his fucking mind.
How many games? He's only played in his career. He's only played in.
Martavis Bryant was probably suspended for more games than he played in. Be my guess.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, he was kind of in here, but he got suspended.
Who do you want to sign? Darius Hayward-Bay too? Just all failed Steelers.
He already on our team.
But he wasn't failed. He was good. He's just got suspended because of weed too. Weed is like such a dumb thing.
Agreed. It's pretty dumb that he test positive for
36. He's only played in 46 games ever.
What year he was drafted?
2014.
God forbid I bring up sign Antonio Brown and
Well,
that make you use the money. Bad.
Yeah, he's bankrupt. Will and I started that man's life on a downward spiral. That's
right.
And look,
there are the factors involved
in the seasons where he actually played. Like, holy shit, man! His rookie year.
Yeah, for the Steelers, he was.
Now, look, okay. In 295 snaps, he only played in 26% of the snaps. He had 26 catches for 549 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's fucking crazy.
You know who that reminds me of? Another former Steeler who went to a school that you're a fan of. Burned bright as a rookie and then fell off.
No, but he got
Canadian.
Because then
talking about the Canadian Drew. Yeah.
Yes.
Because then in year 2 he went
fuck Canada.
50 catches, 765 yards, 6 touchdowns.
And then in year 3 he visited the drug dealer more than the end zone, and then he didn't play in the NFL anymore.
No, year 3 he was either suspended or hurt. Year 4 he was back. He had 50 catches again for 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then he went to Oakland and played 8 games, had 19 catches, 266 yards. And then I think he got suspended.
I mean, fuck it. If we're going to go the weed route, then Josh Gordon is the answer.
But he's like 100 years old now, isn't he?
XFL legend.
Yeah, but he's got fresh legs, like you said.
And the gambling props for the XFL, UFL shit, dog.
I mean, like Jerry Rice hasn't played an NFL snap in a while. He's got pretty fresh legs. I bet.
Martavis Bryant was signed to the Cowboys last year.
What happened? Never made it.
I think he was just signed to the practice squad.
Another Jerry Jones special there. All right, so the long story short here is that we argued about wide receivers for a while. I think we're all on board with Michael Thomas besides Will for some.
Laquan Treadwell, that's my guy.
I don't know what Will's beef is with Michael Thomas. Maybe we'll get like a therapist on to draw it out of him. We'll hypnotize Will, and then he can tell us how Michael Thomas hurt him.
I'll ask, dollar-wise, what would you be comfortable signing Michael Thomas for?
Vet minimum with heavy incentives. I don't give a fuck about incentives. You can give
what about Russell? I mean, why wouldn't Russell Gage be a good signing? I don't understand.
Because he sucks. He's not good.
Yeah.
No upside.
Okay. I mean, he has 4 consecutive seasons of 50 catches and 450 yards.
We can go find some trash bag like that. That's not hard. We're looking for somebody who can make a difference here.
I mean, he has 4 consecutive seasons where he's produced more than Michael Thomas.
How many yards did Russell Gage have last year?
426 yards, 5 touchdowns, 51.
And how many did Michael Thomas have last year?
You're okay. So you're
isolating
one stat. You're isolating one stat. You're isolating one stat. You're isolating one stat. Hold on, I'm going to do the side by side. I'll do the side by side. Don't worry, I'll do the side by side.
How many yards did Michael Thomas have last year?
We're going to do the side by side, and we'll figure out who outperformed who. It's fine because you want to do that.
If you're on PFR, check the Michael Thomas stat too. Catch percent.
Compare players. It's the same. That's fine.
I would assume Michael Thomas played less games, had less targets, had more catches and more yards, but
probably fewer touchdowns, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, he had a fucking tight end playing quarterback for half the year, so.
Yep, and usually
Will's silence already tells us all we need to know.
I'm typing in the names. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Micheal space THOMAS.
Hold on, I picked.
Did he spell that wrong, or does he spell it normal like Michael, and you're just illiterate?
MICHAEL.
AEL.
That's what I said.
You said EAL. Micheal.
I did not.
That's fake news. We will run this back.
You're fucking fake news, commie fuck.
You are. Fuck that. Fuck commies.
You
Gold
live
party.
in a commie state.
I do live in a commie state.
You're a literal communist.
I vote against it. I'm just outnumbered is all.
I voted against it, but I just pay taxes to it and support it and don't go anywhere.
Did Russell Gage not play last year? What the fuck is going on here?
Oh, weird. So Michael Thomas had more yards than last year. Okay, thanks.
That's fine. Man,
you can just say
how are state politics in Massachusetts going?
Charlie Baker's ruined NCAA. Marty Walsh is a corrupt fuck and doing something with Joe Biden. I don't know what the fuck else is going on. I don't care either.
Well,
no, we're not communists. We're not communists. That's all I know. Invented freedom.
Close enough.
Invented freedom.
New Hampshire. New Hampshire is cool, apparently.
It's not.
I don't know though.
It's not.
Just remember, man. January 6th, I got a guided tour of the White House, and then someone tried to show
since 2020
AOC, and it went
since
bad.
2020, Russell Gage has.
But what happened last year?
So since 2020, Russell Gage.
But what happened last year?
I'm speaking.
But what happened last year?
Giving you information.
I asked you for stats from last year.
Well, since Michael Thomas, since 2020, Russell Gage has 189 catches and Michael Thomas has 95 catches. Russell Gage has 1,982 receiving yards. Michael Thomas has 1,057. And
Russell Gage is what with Tom Brady too.
Russell Gage has 13 touchdowns. Michael Thomas has 4.
So do you remember how this started where you swore up and down that Russell Gage had a better year last year than Michael Thomas? That was wrong, right? Stunned silence is very reassuring.
Those are head-to-head stats.
So what have you done for me lately, League? And Russell Gage has not done anything for me lately. So
Michael Thomas hasn't done shit since 2019.
What did Russell Gage do last year?
What did Michael Thomas do in 2020? He had.
I do not care about 2020.
Michael Thomas hasn't had more than 40 catches since 2019.
Okay, I'm going to ask this very slowly and clearly so everybody understands. In 2023, what were Michael Thomas's stats and what were Russell Gage's stats? And why were Michael Thomas's better than Russell Gage's, but you swear Russell Gage is a better signing than Michael Thomas? Did Russell Gage play football last year? Because you skipped over that part real quick because that's how this started.
Oh, I see what happened. He suffered a knee injury at the joint practice with the Jets.
Wow. So he
got hurt.
Oh,
so that got hurt. Hold on. That means he got hurt before the season, which means he's going to have had an entire season plus an off season to have recovered. Michael Thomas got hurt at the end of last season or towards the end of last season, a guy who's already got a very dubious injury history. And
so Michael Thomas, the guy who can't play enough games, played 11 more games than Russell Gage did last year. Michael Thomas, the guy who hasn't done anything since, COVID, according to you, put up numbers last year while Russell Gage put up none. But somehow I'm supposed to believe that Russell Gage is the better signing than Michael Thomas. It's just I need a calculator. So
Russell Gage is 3 years younger, has over a year of recovery, and has other than
that we can run the tape back. But this started by you saying that Russell Gage was better last year than Michael Thomas, when that clearly wasn't the case.
I would take Russell Gage over Michael Thomas any day.
That's not the argument. The argument started when you said that Russell Gage had more yards than Michael Thomas last year when he had 0. Me, you, and Russell Gage put up the same stats last year during the regular season.
Cool. Well, since 2020,
I don't care about since 2020.
Oh, of course.
No.
Of course you don't.
Why would I?
Since Michael Thomas was a relevant player in the NFL last.
So Michael Thomas was more relevant last year than Russell Gage was last year.
But he was irrelevant.
But he was more relevant than Russell Gage.
He was an irrelevant player.
But he was more relevant than Russell Gage.
Irrelevant player.
Yes or no? Was he more relevant than Russell Gage last year?
I would argue he wasn't. His team felt his loss.
All right, that's a decent spin zone, but still, zero is pretty hard to overcome. Again, so long story short is here we should sign Michael Thomas, and we'll get on board eventually.
No, I won't. Never. He's a bitch. He won't even make it through the summer.
Can't not make it through the summer if he doesn't sign till the end of the summer.
No, he won't sign, number one, and if he does, he'll get hurt during camp. He'll just cash checks. He'll probably start painting his nails. Something. I was about to say something really bad.
Yeah, because you backed yourself into a corner with Russell Gage. That was bad horse to back there.
No, Russell Gage. I'm actually here. You know what?
Do you regret that?
No.
I would, if I were you. If I gave you a mulligan, would you have picked somebody else besides Russell Gage to die on that hill?
Nope. I just tweeted Russell Gage is better than Michael Thomas.
Everybody's going to read that and be like, Will's been hitting the bottle a lot tonight.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So from wide receivers that Will doesn't want to safeties that Will doesn't want. Jamal Adams visited yesterday. As far as I know, has not signed a deal. I wouldn't mind bringing him in. I actually think Key, who may be joining us tonight, hasn't shown up yet. But when he got released, that was a name that Key floated on the podcast. I don't hate bringing him in. Will is very anti Jamal Adams, so Will, state your argument as to why you hate Jamal Adams. Then
he can't cover. He can't cover. We all hate Chuck Clark because the defense couldn't get off the field on third down, and we even heard EDC specifically say the defense needs to be able to get off the field on third down. It's a focal point of the defense. We are switching defensive coordinators, against our will, but we're still kind of excited about the switch to Orr. And the last thing we have 2 rookie cornerbacks that we drafted who we should be excited about, but there's still a learning curve, and we don't need a liability in coverage, blowing assignments, getting toasted by tight ends and slot receivers.
If you're bringing in Jamal Adams to be a starting safety and to play deep, then yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think that's the move. I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Well, but playing deep isn't even what I'm most concerned with. It's bringing them up to the line to cover tight ends and to cover slot receivers. I don't want to see him in coverage at all. I mean, maybe help, but I don't want to see him.
But if you use him as almost like a third inside linebacker, guy with some secondary experience, you put him, Trenton Simpson, and Roquan middle of the field. I feel like that can be do some damage. Send him off the edge in dime packages, nickel guy. I'm not looking for him to play in like our base defense, but if you're using him situationally, I don't think you can go wrong with that.
I would be more okay with him as a full conversion from safety to inside linebacker, like basically as a rotational piece with Trenton Simpson. He's big enough to do it. He's if he put on a little bit of weight, he's basically the exact same size as Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson profiles as
Jamal Adams, who was smart enough to play linebacker instead of
he's like when they drafted him, he kind of profiles as like a hybrid linebacker safety. So like he's got the athleticism for it. I don't think that Jamal Adams has the athleticism anymore to play safety. I think he is more of a linebacker. He's like a straight line guy. He moves. He's kind of like a PQ,
right. But so you're losing PQ, so why not bring in a guy who excels at plays in front of him? Well, that's what PQ did so well.
He's a PQ without the benefit of PQ's been a linebacker his whole life.
What week did Jamal Adams go out last year?
No, he wasn't. Pete used to play safety at LSU, buddy.
Well, what I mean is this: like his whole NFL life, he's not learning a new position. So Jamal Adams would have to learn a new position, and that can be difficult. So
I guess where I differ from you, if we're bringing in just a straight safety, Justin Simmons is the move. That's the guy on the market that has no business being on the market.
Somebody already.
No, he didn't.
No, he's still available.
There's a handful of guys out there, actually, and one of them is.
How are we going to sign them with what money?
We can restructure contracts easily and create
1 year incentive heavy contract, because clearly people are not paying Justin Simmons what he wants. So you bring him to a contender and you say, "Look what happened to JV and Clowney last year," and you sell him on that.
Safety. The safety market is not what safeties think it should be, and it hasn't been. It hasn't been for a while. I mean, other than like the elite. Like the top tier of guys, like we just saw Winfield get paid big time, so we know
Kyle Hamilton's going to get paid big time.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton's going to get a big bag, but like the guys who hit the free agent market, like Simmons got cut, didn't he?
No, I think he was. I think his contract was up. I might be wrong, but
yeah, he got cut.
He got cut. And all the safeties and like 2 safeties got cut in Seattle. It was Adams and it was Diggs got cut in Seattle. Diggs is another guy we could bring in easily. Diggs translates more to what we need, I think.
Doesn't Quandre Diggs have some weird case where he like robbed the barbecue with another one of his teammates? Isn't that him?
I think that was bullshit.
I thought that had happened. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think that was made up.
Well, if that was true, maybe that's the reason why
Is that like the DeAndre Swift double murder in Philly? Rumor?
Yeah, no, I think that was make-believe. That was just a stupid fucking made-up bullshit.
I like Quandre Diggs, though. I mean, I feel like he'd be a good
I wouldn't mind him.
No,
Again, this
he
more
would
comes down
fit
to
more.
money for me.
Yeah, he would fit more what we would be looking for, I think, in a safety. So like, and Micah Hyde would really fit what we would be looking for. But he said he's playing in Buffalo or he's retiring, which I think can be a little bit of hyperbole to try and get a
Micah
contract done.
Hyde.
I think you'd have to pay Micah Hyde to get him away from Buffalo is the problem. And
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
we're
what I
looking
mean.
to
That's what
give
I'm talking
guaranteed
about.
money.
It's hyperbole to try and get money moving.
Yeah, and we're not looking to move money. We're looking to, low base, high incentives, and come in and
right.
Run up your value for next year.
Man, we gonna sign Jamal Adams. We might as well just bring Daryl Worley, man.
Where did I land on Worley? Was it extend him or cut him?
It was extend him, but it was 2 seasons ago. And I think we've
no, extend him again. I think you said extend him again. Bring him back.
It's wherever I left off. That's what we should do with Daryl Worley. What's CoCap up to? I know he's coaching, but maybe he's got a couple.
He's in Carolina, isn't he?
Did he go to Carolina?
He in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought he followed whoever the fuck from us went down there.
In my brain, I always get Carolina and Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the powder blue.
Yeah, and they came. I think both teams started around the same time.
Yeah, both south of us, both kind of like hick places.
They started around the same time.
Around the same mid-90s, yeah.
It's Will is saying that they went from the Houston Oilers to the Tennessee Titans now that they became like a new franchise. Trippy, just for the record.
No, I
got where Will was coming from.
Yeah. They came into my the existing.
They became the Tennessee Titans then.
Yeah, the Titans and the Panthers came into existence as like teams around the same time.
What was that? Probably 90. It was right around us, actually. I think.
Panthers were first.
Yeah, Panthers might have come in the same year as we did.
I think the Panthers were 90.
Okay. Yeah, so we were 96, so close enough.
I think they were like 90. And then I think the Titans were 97.
Sounds about right. So I mean the
Titans are 99 because they moved from Houston to Tennessee for a couple of years. They were the Tennessee Oilers. Okay. 99 they became the Titans.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fuck them.
Yep.
100.
Man, I can't wait till the season start, man. It seems like with the offseason, man, I don't really too much to talk about because
OTAs. Oh yeah, well we have an anorexic quarterback, so we should probably talk about that, right?
That's right. Mr. 205 light heavyweight quarterback.
Bulimic.
I have no idea what was just said because my AirPods decided to not connect, but I'm sure it was scintillating from Jake.
We're talking about
Is you gonna blame me this time again?
Lamar's eating disorder.
No, it's Will's fault. We're talking about Lamar. Apparently Lamar, was 473 pounds and took Ozempic in the offseason, and now he's, 210 pounds and jacked.
I think that people think that Photoshop that EDC Burner did is real.
With the popcorn? I tweeted that before in response to somebody talking about it. I swear there have been more questions and tweets about Lamar losing weight than there were about if he was going to sign an extension at some point.
It's so crazy.
I don't get it. I mean,
it's 10 pounds. It's 10 pounds.
I mean, he looked. Season, why do it now? Still
right.
I mean, something days to the first game.
If he had some drastic change where he put on 80 pounds and became a fucking Jamarcus Russell sized guy, or he lost 50 pounds and looked like Devontae Smith, I guess I could understand.
Or remember when Johnny Football was emaciated?
Yeah, because he was doing so much coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if people are afraid Lamar has a coke problem, then maybe I can see where all this, intrigue comes from. Other than that, I don't get it.
He looks healthy. He looked healthy to me coming out to practice today. He looks energetic.
Do we give credit to Rashad Bateman for showing up?
No.
Well, I mean, he showed up.
Yeah, you give him brownie points. You showed up.
No,
not really.
I'm not giving him credit.
I'm not going to congratulate him for showing up, but I think it's worth mentioning he showed up.
That's showing up, that training. We want to see that motherfucker show up on them stats.
Right, but I mean, this is the start. Is he showed up? Yeah. He did the bare minimum, which he wasn't doing before. So I guess good for you, Rashad. Treat yourself to a nice manicure pedicure at the end of the week. You earned it, pal. You worked hard.
No, I'm not giving him credit for that. I mean, this is what he should. This is what he should be doing. I would give him credit. I would give him credit if he had shown up for the first set of workouts. If he showed up for the entirety of the off-season program.
So you have the interview, and then you have him showing up to OTAs as two positives in his direction. So right now he's working from a negative 50 in my book. So he's upped it to a negative 48.
I was surprised by that.
Actually, that's actually probably why he came back to Baltimore is he wanted to wear funny clothes and go watch horses. You know,
But
He
that
wasn't
makes
there.
perfect
I
sense.
didn't see him in any picture.
I mean,
Nobody
I
would
don't know.
nobody would take a picture of him there. You had
Oh.
fucking white Carl, Charlie Kohler showing up, but
I don't know if it's like a big deal though, but I like when I be on Instagram, I always see like Zay and Nelly always working out. I never see Bait. Like, I still think that's kind of crazy because like
That's a South Florida thing, I think, though.
that's a
I mean,
Rashad
but
Bateman has
still
bad
though, like
vibes.
you feel me? Like I think, and that was in Baltimore too. So it's just like, what's going on? You feel me? But I mean, hey, it is what it is, though.
Like I said,
I do like the fact that I'm seeing these guys spending time in Baltimore when they're not practicing in the offseason.
yeah, I mean they did something. You know, they put in the work. I'm talking about Zay and Nelly. So you know, I give them passes for dropping balls and making stupid decisions because they put in the work and they're committed. Whereas I'm going to get down Bateman's throat when he does something stupid because he doesn't put in the work and isn't committed.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think this is like a hot take, and I'm sure you guys will probably agree. I think we're going to see a big jump from Zay in year 2.
I mean,
Yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
I think you're going to see more plays work out in his favor.
I think we're going to see a more polished player.
Right. There were some, I don't want to say like boneheaded plays that he, but like, you know, the fumble in the AFC Championship game, like he made not a lot of rookie mistakes like that, but he made enough of them.
Well, and like,
And
so
that's not
that
going to
play,
happen here too.
that play is like, that's almost like a bad luck play. I mean, like he was trying.
No, because he shouldn't have had to die. He shouldn't have dove. That
Well,
was a
he
stupid.
was
That
like-
was a bump.
He was trying to make something happen. He was trying to make something happen. Whatever. Okay,
But he
like,
could have made it in the end zone standing up. So my point is that that's a boneheaded, not polished rookie mistake. He's not going to make those mistakes here too.
the two plays that jump out more to me in that game are the penalty he got and
we should go pull the tape on that one.
the taunting penalty.
Yeah, where you were vehement that should not have been called.
Well,
because Travis Kelce taunted us all game.
No. What I'm saying is that Travis Kelce should be called for taunting also. That's all I'm saying. It clearly was taunting, but I'm saying if you're not going to call that shit every fucking time Travis Kelce catches a ball and gets up and taunts every player who's anywhere near him, then how are you going to call Zay Flowers for it? That's my point. But he shouldn't have taunted. That was a stupid fucking decision on his part to do that.
Yeah,
now,
dumb rookie mistake.
To me, the dumbest thing he did all day was when he caught that ball up the sideline and he cut back when he could have just kept running.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you went and looked at every time he touched the ball last year, I'm sure there was a handful of plays every game that you were like, yeah, that wasn't the smartest thing to do with the ball. Or, if you try to secure the catch instead of looking for yards after the catch, you would have had, another catch for another 20 yards there.
Right.
So like those things are going to go away here too, I guess is my point.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see a pretty significant jump in production. Like I think you can pencil him in for, I would say,
1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say 90 plus catches, 1,100 yards, and
10 touchdowns.
All right.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, anything. I would say 90 plus, 1,100 plus, and 8 plus. I think are all safe bets.
One thing I want to see Zay Flowers this year, I want to see them give him more like.
Grant and I were pounding the table for that all last year. I feel like with Tez
and
Walker.
I asked him before, like he said he said that's what he liked to do. So I'm just like, remember like week 2 when we played.
The problem he had last year was that he was our best wide receiver in the screen game, and he was our best wide receiver for deep balls. And like you had to use him one way or the other. He can't play both roles at the same time. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair. I walked right into that one. That's my fault. No, but like he's only one guy. So he can't be running deep routes every time. And he also can't be running the screens and the short, in routes and things like that. Now that we have Tez Walker, I feel like you can kind of play off one another with that. Also, I think you're going to see a lot more Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews on the field at the same time, which is going to free up Zay Flowers to do a lot more than he was able to do last year.
At this point, that shit gotta work. Like Mark and Zay Isaiah Likely on the field together. Like it gotta work because like listen to other sports media talk. Like they say they gotta find a way to get both of them on the field and produce. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like if both of them on the field together, like you're right. It'll open shit up for like Zay, Walker, Bateman. Even like now we signed Derrick Henry, especially if we need an RPO. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it all comes down to execution. And I guess Todd Martin too, we got to see if he going to open up that playbook.
He's got documented success with 2 tight ends, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not worried either. Yeah, and I think this is the year where we see. I mean, Isaiah Likely, in year one he had to step up because Andrews got hurt for that stretch, and then then it was a case of it was still Roman. So then when
Yeah.
Andrews came back, Roman doesn't know what the fuck to do with Isaiah Likely. It was like,
Roman knows how to tell tight ends to block, and that's about
right, exactly. So then with Todd, then last year it was a lot of like feeling things out, and he was trying to get the most out of Lamar. He was
and
trying
then Mark got hurt. And yeah.
Mark got hurt, and then obviously we have Odell. So he's trying to make sure that we're working Odell into things. Bateman was kind of throwing a wrench into the chemistry. We're trying to get Zay going. You got to get Zay enough touches because Zay was like the spark plug. So I think this year you're going to see we know what we have now in Isaiah Likely.
And you
Mark
don't
Andrews
have
is
to.
Mark Andrews. So it's we're going to see a lot of creativity, I think, on the offense.
You also don't have to try as hard to establish the run this year.
No,
you have Derrick Henry. It's not I got to give Justice Hill the ball 3 times, 4 times. I got to give Gus Edwards the ball 3 times, 4 times. And I'm going to figure out who the hot hand is, and then I'm going to try to establish the run with them.
Right.
Like you just have Derrick Henry. It's just turn around, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry.
Yeah. And I think the offensive line, for as much as people want to like be concerned about it, I think the offensive line it has the potential to be better than last year's offensive line.
Where people are right now is where you were at the beginning of the offseason, where you were essentially fear of the unknown. And so people are just now coming to grips with the fact that we're having 3 new offensive linemen start this year.
We drafted a starting right tackle. We have a starting left guard.
We have a starting right guard on the roster too. I don't know who they're going to be, but they exist on the roster already. And it's all about finding the guys that piece in correctly and hoping that Ronnie Stanley kind of gives you 80% of what he used to be.
Right guard is the biggest question mark on the offensive line, but there is a starter there somewhere. But Voorhees is going to be
Is right guard really that big of a question though?
No, it's not. But I'm saying of all the starting offensive linemen, Voorhees is going to be the starting left guard. And he's going to be
Or
good.
is he going to be the starting right guard, and then you're going to have Saleh play left guard?
Maybe okay. Voorhees is going to be a starting guard.
Right.
So we know who the center is. We know who the left tackle is, and we know Garden is going to be the right tackle. We know that he's not going to be the day one at training camp because
it's going to be Falele's job to lose, but I think he'll lose it.
He will because Rosengarten is that guy. He just is. And to use a second round pick on a right tackle like that, I mean,
to me, the real offensive line question comes down to, is Ben Cleveland your starting right guard? Because if he's not, then it's Voorhees is your right guard, and then you got a free for all left guard. But if Cleveland comes in if he comes in, I mean, he's looked significantly better on the right side when he plays there. That's where he's most comfortable with. We've talked about it to death, but he is a fucking moron and probably can't figure out his left from his right, and so probably cause problems with him with the playbook. Again, if he comes in and does what he's supposed to do at right guard, then Voorhees. And if Voorhees doesn't work out at left guard because he's not 100% healthy yet, you still have a couple guys that have starting caliber guys for the short term there. So I'm not as worried about our offensive line as everybody else is. I also understand that you're going in with a lot of question marks. But you're going in with question marks that the people exist on the roster, and your question is, do they figure out the right combination to start off with, and is that the combination that sticks, or are you going to be in a 3-4 week span where you have some flux on the offensive line? They don't have time to gel.
Right. Well, and again, we have Josh Jones, we have Patrick McCarry, so like we have depth too.
Patrick Ricard, who makes that easier in terms of you might have a guy getting beat all game at left guard, but you also have Patrick Ricard there that can kind of bail him out for a little bit while they get their feet wet.
And what's the other guy's name that we drafted, the center?
The Michigan State kid. God,
I forget his name. I can see it. I can see his face too. But
I just remember him. I was gonna say,
Samac or something like that. Yeah.
I just remember the clip of him this year. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's got the Raven in him," when he's flipping off the Michigan crowd while they're down like 49-7. It's like, no, he doesn't have Raven in him. Like, we don't lose games 49-7. Let's chill.
Yeah, but we have a backup center. We have a guy who can come in who knows that, and we're not going to be relying on somebody who hasn't snapped a ball in 8 years. So
we had Sam Musfer last year, noted
No.
successful Chicago Bears center Sam Musfer.
But and that was fine. Like I was happy with that. I'm saying there were times before in the not too distant past where we were relying on guys who were
Where
like
people were tweeting death threats to Matt Skura's wife because he got hurt. Yeah, I remember that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because people downplay the importance of the center, the guy who touches the ball as much as the quarterback.
Yeah, and I would still say that Linderbaum is our most important piece on the offensive line.
Oh, for sure. And it takes it takes like an act of Congress to keep him from playing. So
yeah, like you got to like chop his legs off.
Right. So I don't think I'm not worried about the offensive line personally. And I think after OTAs, if we end up signing one of these, like Risner's still out there, right?
Yeah.
So if we end up
what's his name? Connor Williams, I think is the other one.
Yeah. So if we end up signing one of these free agents, then they're not comfortable with the interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, that'll be like in August. When do we open up training camp? I think it's like July 24th or something like that.
Yeah.
That'll be like in August. If we sign somebody like August 1st, then okay, they're not happy with that first week.
That'll be the signal. And or if it's like even sooner than that, they're not liking what they're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And they want to get ahead of it. So, but if nothing changes, then if they're happy, I'm happy. Because again, like in the
I hate people.
They're good at evaluating cornerbacks, like defensive backs and offensive linemen. The Ravens do that really well in terms of scouting and
I hate when our fans pretend to know about offensive line. If Cole Jackson says something about an offensive lineman, fine. He spends an exorbitant amount of time watching offensive line film. Like I'll trust his opinion. There's a couple other guys that I'm sure I'm not remembering their names, but like there are people who say things about offensive linemen that I'm like, I don't really know what you're talking about, but I also know that you watch a lot of offensive line film, so I'll trust your opinion on that. When, Ravens fan 69-420 is like, oh, this guy sucks because he gave up 3 holding penalties in week 2 of, his sophomore year of college. Like, he sucks ass. He's not going to be good in the NFL. It's like, just shut up. Just stop.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. That's why I said if the Ravens are happy with the depth chart, then I am. I don't.
The only position that I do not implicitly trust the Ravens with is wide receiver. That's it. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm correct in that anymore because I feel like EDC has kind of done a 180 on how he used to deal with wide receivers. So, maybe my mistrust there is misguided, but until I'm kind of proven wrong 2 years in a row, I feel like that's the only position you can look at and say, I don't trust what the Ravens are.
Well, I think people also with the EDC wide receiver thing, he was also being judged a lot on what he inherited. But
he did a lot of the same things that Ozzie did.
I was going to say they were also habits he inherited, and so he studied under Ozzie, so he had to grow out of that, and I think he has.
I think he has too. But if I'm looking at any position group and the Ravens say we're happy with this, like I've been burned enough times being like the Ravens have said they're happy with their wide receivers and they suck balls. So
yeah,
and again, that's not like a massive slight on EDC. It's just it's been since 1996 they haven't been good with wide receivers. So. I have a little bit of mistrust there, but every other position, it just usually seems to work out. There's been weird years where we haven't signed or we haven't gone in the year with 25 corners on the roster, so it didn't work out. But that's also not realistic to expect. So, when there's no major injury bugs, it seems like most of our positions work out and pass rusher has been a little bit hit or miss too, but that's typically injury based as well, not having enough depth there. So I'd also like to see us sign an edge guy just for, again, warm body depth sake, like an Emmanuel Ogba type guy who's still out there.
How the fuck you say his name? Ngakwe.
Yannick Ngakwe.
Yeah, I think we can run it back with him.
Yeah, I'd be fine with him too. I'm not looking for somebody who's coming off,
a pass rush special.
Right, like I'm not looking for a guy who's had, 15 sacks in a year multiple times in his career, or some, legitimate difference maker. I'm just looking for somebody who has proven that in limited opportunities they can get to the passer, because I feel like you can never have enough guys like that on the roster. But I mean, we're looking at a fairly complete team right now. Assuming Lamar's weight loss, doesn't get too crazy and he's not like 14 pounds and doesn't like snap his leg week 1. Which I don't know. Again, you listen to like Jameson Hensley, like he's had drastic weight loss this year. So
10 pounds.
Yeah. They asked him 15 questions about that this year today, like on the mic. Like I watched somebody fucking break him out, and it was legitimately 15 times.
I think it was like 11 questions were asked of not just him, like his teammates as well. Like, what the fuck?
They asked Harbaugh, and Harbaugh was like, I don't know, he looks fine. It was just like the most Harbaugh answer of all time.
I mean, what in May? What's the problem with a guy being who played at 215 last year being 205?
How about the fact that he was like 215 in 2019 and 2018? It's not like this is some brand new body type for him.
No. He was 205 in 2019. He was this weight.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that he was around this weight anyway.
Exactly,
so
right, yeah.
This is not like some unseen Lamar Jackson. It's not like some drastic body change. It might be different from before. Jake comes in and leaves one more time and kick him out.
Hey, I had to get the right headset on for when the time comes.
Yeah, I don't understand the pushback on it. Like, and people were talking about injuries, and 2019
he got hurt more when he was bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so 2019 is the year he had absolutely no brush with injury whatsoever.
Now at 205, I am a little bit afraid of him going and eating like gas station sushi.
Yeah, but you would think that part of him losing the weight is that he has changed his diet.
Right, but when he was skinnier, he'd get these weird stomach bugs because he'd go eat weird shit while he was hanging out around at 7-Eleven at 3 o'clock in the morning. So maybe it affects him.
Hey, man, if he has to take a dump in the middle of the game, that bodes well for us.
Yeah, I mean, people forget about the Cleveland Browns game. So
hey, man, you got to shit on them doo-doo Browns in order to beat the Browns.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like our fans are just clinging to shit to be fucking enthralled with because there's no other storylines to cling to this training camp.
Literally none.
When we sign Michael Thomas,
drama-free.
Will lead the anti-Michael Thomas camp, and then we'll have some Ravens civil wars over it. But
that's fair. I mean,
forever.
Sideshow Bob is a polarizing character. That's completely understandable.
What we've learned today is that he had a better 2023 than Julio Jones and Russell Gage, who Will wanted over him. So.
Still do.
This man said we should sign Russell Gage. This man losing his fucking by hell while with a Super Bowl.
I really need to know what Michael Thomas personally did to Will. This is a personal vendetta of some kind.
It gotta be something.
He's a bitch.
What?
Like, did you wait outside for an autograph and he snubbed you?
I don't do autographs. I don't give a fuck about someone signing a name.
There's something. I don't know what it is, but did you write him a letter and he didn't write back?
No, he's a bitch. I don't want him on our team.
Did you just drink a fifth of vodka and dare you to drive?
He's not a Raven.
You have his name tattooed across your chest?
He's not a Raven. He's a bitch. After
June 1st, he's going to be a Raven.
He's a hoe.
Full of his posters and his pictures.
He's a hoe.
Got the underground shit that he did with Ruckus.
What do you mean after June 1st? He's cut. He's a free agent.
He was cut. After June 1st, then before or after June 1st doesn't matter if you were cut.
I'm kind of disappointed in Jake for the record. I made a lot of Stan references and Jake didn't pile in. I feel like if somebody would have caught on to that, it would have been you.
Man, old school Eminem was cool.
Yeah, drugged out.
Didn't listen to it enough.
You don't know Stan?
No, I know Stan. Everyone knows Stan, Dido, and shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's Will with
everyone
Michael
knows that song. Yeah, it's fair. That is fair. Perhaps is it a part of the bit of the whole Mike Evans versus Michael Thomas thing? Maybe that's where the animus lies.
Maybe, I don't know. Will's got some deep-seated hatred for Michael Thomas that I'm going to get to the bottom of. That's my week assignment for this week.
Pretty weird how Drew is such a big Michael Thomas fan, Ohio State guy.
Hey,
that's also true.
One of the few guys that actually Ohio State has some pretty good wide receivers NFL wise. So Garrett Wilson's pretty good. Chris Olave's pretty good. I would like Marvin Harrison Jr. On the Ravens if I had that opportunity. So I can live with that. Running backs not so much. Quarterbacks not so much.
Quarterbacks definitely not. They have one outlier, and that was the rookie from last year.
I feel like my audio just cut out again.
Well, Orioles got swept, man. That shit crazy.
The Orioles got swept. Streaks over.
Yeah, maybe I think that's why Will's so down. Any other time on the podcast, he be all hype and shit. He all quiet.
Red Sox swept the Rays.
At least he still got his Orioles hat on, though. He's still representing the Orioles, though.
I mean, people getting all fucking worked up, man.
John Means going to get Tommy John 2.0.
Losing your shit about baseball in May is crazy.
Will, the most important streak in the MLB was that you hadn't been swept.
That's why people was
Yeah,
losing
right.
their mind.
That was like as important as our preseason streak for the Ravens.
Don't worry, next
Not
week
being
we putting
swept
belt-
for
next week
whatever
we
that
putting
was,
belt the
800
ass
straight
to the,
series.
who we play next week? The Dead Sox. Yeah. We gonna
I
beat the
cannot
shit out
wait
the
until
Dead
they
Sox.
fucking come in and shove it down your throat.
Whoa,
Ugh.
pause.
Yeah. No pause.
How'd that go last time?
Last time they came to Baltimore was last year.
How'd that go last time we played?
How'd your playoff series go?
Sweep.
Chief.
What's that got to do with you? You had no playoff series.
Yeah,
y'all
we
was
won the same amount of
running
playoff games as you guys did last year.
sorry-ass, Tampa Bay Devils or whatever you call them, the Rays.
Since Wander Franco got exposed as a pedophile, the Rays have really fallen off. So, I'm just waiting for Gunnar Henderson to get exposed as a white supremacist, and then we'll be good shape. Connor wants
There you go.
the wrestling.
Well, anywho, that's going to do it for this week's installment. We will be back to discuss this, that, and the other, and any other storylines coming from the OTAs in this offseason. But meanwhile, it's time for me to die.
Zone 32.